good morning. How is everyone today? Did you crack open that beautiful glowing light in your heart? Did you shift away darkness? I'm going to guide you to your truest destiny. Do you see the eye on the prize right now? How's everyone doing? Well, I'm Mary Amy. I'm coming from New York, and this is Living in the Light. I'm all about guiding you to your potential. So, did everyone have a good intention this morning? Were you aware of your thoughts? And let's say they are in front of you. What are they exactly? Well, today, September 29th, it's Thursday in the Matrix Work Week. We're going to cover topics like pause, dark forces, first contact. Hey, Hamano, thanks for joining us. I know you're coming from Transylvania in Europe. Oh my gosh. Well, anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, I know I wasn't here yesterday. I had a rough patch. I wasn't feeling well, and sometimes we just have to take a break. We have to give ourselves permission to do that if we just can't get through things. And so when I took this little mini break, which I'm going to talk about pausing, when I took this pause, I basically shut all my electronics down, and I just kind of hung out in my bedroom, and I just really rested my mind. Do you sometimes need to just rest your mind? Well, we do, because we do have all these frequencies coming at us, and we have everyone's vibrations. And so sometimes when we go task, rush, we need to take a pause. And then we can kind of reflect on everything, can't we? So have you been taking a pause from time to time? Because it's necessary. And when we take pauses, we actually perform better. So it's a temporary stop. Now, last night, did you have any dreams? I did. I had some dreams and I wrote them down this morning. It's a good idea to have a dream journal that you keep track of all your dreams. It's not like something that you need to focus on, but it's a good idea to keep track of them because you're acknowledging your dreams and you're becoming more aware of what your unconscious is leading you towards. Like I say, keep your eye on the prize. What exactly is your destiny? Well, you truly know your destiny. It's within your heart. Hey, Thomas Grant. Hi, thanks for joining us. What's so funny is that I was writing down where everyone's from. Now, are you from Australia? Because, I'm trying to keep track and I'm writing it down because I don't have a good memory about that. Where are you coming from, Thomas Grant? Share with us. Hamano is from Transylvania. I'm in New York. Yes, I was right. So there you go. I'm getting things straightened out. You know what? It takes time, it's like moments, right? And sometimes I have a delayed response. So I'm glad you're here. And, why am I doing this? Because I really am all about hope and light. I really am living in the light. I really believe that, your mindset is crucial to developing your highest potential, discovering who you are, your insides. It's very important because we can't control what's going on out here, can we? We can only control what's going on inside. Thoughts, words, and actions. Now, please, if there's glitches during the broadcast, please, if there's any glitches, which means that it gets all fuzzy, you can't see me, can you please tell me? Because then, you know what? In fact, I'm going to write it. I'm going to write this down, and then I'm going to answer your question. Why isn't it not writing that? You know what? I'm going to write in here, any glitches. Wait, what is that? That's not what I'm doing. It's making up stuff now. So any glitches, please tell me, because then I won't know and I feel terrible. So how does a real person like you find light, live in light, is what you said. Well, I would say, you know what? Did I write me? Me. Huh. Can't see. I can't see anybody. I can't see. So anyway, So how can you live in light, a real regular person? Well, I'm a regular person, just like you are. More or less, how do you live in light? Well, living in light is like a more high vibrational mindset. So that means that you're more positive. That means, and how do you do it is your question. So I would say, how do I do it? I'm going to go with, how do I do it? Well, part of what could be for me is that I had near death experiences, uh, NDEs as a baby, and so I saw light, and so I almost crossed over twice, when I was 2.5, and then when I was 6, I was going into first grade. And so, how can we all live in light? Well, we can believe and trust that there's light on the horizon. A difficult situation will improve beyond your vision, beyond your sight. We can have belief in that and faith in that. We can spend time in nature. We can look at the positive in things, and get off of the me track, me. Hey, Tommy, hi, thanks for joining us today. You can see that I'm on my way to recovery. I'm working towards it. I'm just being positive today. I was just asked, how do you live in the light? And I just try to have an optimistic perspective. I try to find kinship with everyone. So, in other words, whatever the living being is or living thing, I try to have compassion, you know, and it breaks my heart if someone's in pain. And maybe that's the empathic side of me. But we all can find that within us. It's like, what were we taught? We spoke about programming. So what were you programmed? Were you programmed at an early age of like, get out of the way, everybody? I'm going to step on your head. I'm going to crush you. Get to the finish line first. And then you said, oh, that's all I'm determined to do is get to the finish line. But what about living right now? There's a lot, sometimes it takes a while to get to the finish line. And you know what? There's lessons that we may learn on the way to the finish line. And it's also about realizing that essentially we're all part of a whole. So we have unity towards each other. So it's about sharing your heart with others. Maybe I'm saying, when I say share your heart, I'm not saying maybe necessarily that you're best friends with everyone, but I'm saying that maybe you could take time to be a little bit more patient and not make rash judgments and say, you know what? Guess what makes the world go round is that we all are different, that we're all different. And then, you know what? That's exciting. Like, who wants to be around everybody that is the same as me? That's boring. That's like a clone, right? Anyone who's joining, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So I hope that answers your question. It's just more or less about having love, having compassion, having forgiveness for all living things. Spending time in nature. It's about, maybe it's meditation. It's about bringing your mindset and your being like, whew, like having a good intention, I say, which is a commitment to do your best. So prior to doing this, if I have a second, because really it takes a second, I go like this. And so when I do that, I'm going through my body like this and saying, connect all parts of me to having a good intention to do my best. Now, yesterday I wasn't here, and I apologize. I did not do a video. The day before, I looked at it and there was so many glitches, and I said, you know what? This is a sign. Number one is I can't post until I'm about to do it, about what the topics are, because it seems to be an issue when I do it the night before. So that's out of the bag. Two, I really don't feel well. I physically didn't feel well. And so I said, what is best for Mary? And so I'm learning to say that to myself. What is best? So maybe put your own name there. What is best for Jane or Joe or Jack or Peter or whoever you are? What is best for Thomas? What is best for Amano? What is best for Garrett? Anyone who comes and joins us. What is best for Joe? What is best for Alexandra? So what is best for you? And when I say that, what do I mean? I mean, what is going to be be for you? How are you going to be okay in this very difficult world that we're dealing with? This is a really complex situation. It's very complex right now because there's a lot of energies coming at us. There's a lot of people making demands. There's things that are said on the television, and then it's hard to decide or decipher whether or not it's actually real. And then you watch social media and you see some videos and everything's a little alarming. And so your mind goes off and you start to make up stories. Let's just live here in this moment, in this physical reality together. We can go off and we can do our intuitive skills. We can do that later. But in this moment, let's think about just right now. Because then that's too much pressure, all this other stuff and what's going on. Now, if you are dealing with something, that's different. If you do have something going on in your particular life that's affecting you, then that's entirely different. You know it's real because it's with you, it's in your life. So yesterday I took a pause, which is a temporary step, and I say to you all, it's important that we all take this from time to time because it's an action. Is it a hesitation? Maybe. And so maybe it's your body. Sometimes we have to listen to this physical vessel. We have to get out of our mind, our critical reasoning going, oh, well, I can do it. I can do it. Like I always say, the show must go on. Well, guess what? The show didn't go on yesterday. And that was better for me because if I do that, then I'm going to be better the next time and the next time because I need, maybe it's a way of improving yourself by taking a pause. Maybe it's a way of seeking out a different challenge. I did a lot of computer work yesterday. I'm putting together another show, which is going to be on my channel with 3 hosts. And so I'm sharing that with you because we really are taking concrete action towards that, or I would not tell you that. But that's a real thing. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to continue to do these 11 a.m. lives. So interrupted action. You cease. You take a moment and you discontinue, take a break from action. So are you feeling as though you need to do that? And maybe you find that time on the weekends when you just have some bliss and some joy and you go out into nature or you do some fulfilling passions. Maybe you spend time just resting and chilling and eating yummy food. So as we take a brief stop and we look around, it helps us to look around at the scenarios of what's going on out there. What is going on out there? I want to know. Well, guess what? If we go task, and we rush, then how are we ever going to know what's going on out there? Because we're never taking a moment. And then we get a little complacent in our decision making because it takes too much time. Well, we're going to have to take a break. So for a short period of time, yesterday for me, it was 24 hours to stop doing something. And then you can carefully consider what are your choices. So it will take the doubt out of things by taking a pause. It's a moment to consider. And everyone should take a pause from time to time. It helps to handle challenges that are presented to us and realize how we want to experience our life. What will bring us personal happiness? What will bring you personal happiness? So let's live in the moment, in the present time. Let's expand our mindset to a higher consciousness. And what I mean by that, well, if you're joining me, you actually know what that means because you already are. If you are listening to me, you know that I'm coming from a place of love and light, and I'm sending that to you. And I have compassion, and I am supportive, and I'm sturdy. I'm right here, and I'm just sharing my ideas and bringing awareness to certain topics. So if you are overwhelmed, overworked, overstressed, you're having difficulty, lack of sleep, you feel like you need to take a reflective pause, take it from daily activities. So stop and reflect and look over things and have a calming moment. And that's what I did. I had calmness come over me. And you have a new understanding. And you will develop a new plan. And so is that taking us off this is interesting. I said to myself, I'm laying on my bed and I said yesterday, is this taking me out of my energetic pattern by doing this today? And what does that mean exactly? And I said, yeah, it did. Because as I say, when you pull out of the driveway, you're going right or left. Your energetic pattern is where you go every day, how you drive there, how you do your daily tasks, who you spend time with. And so you create this very strong energetic pattern. Now, if you're looking at the prize over there, your destiny, if your energetic pattern is not taking you to your destiny, because look, I'm making a circle, aren't I? Like an oval. If your energetic pattern is just this constant oval, 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 and you're saying, oh, change, change, I want this, I want that. And don't forget, when we bring change into our life, we have to adjust to it. Okay? But let's remember, if we want to go to that prize over there, that destiny, and we have nothing that's helping us to get there, we're going to have to step out of our energetic pattern. We're going to have to take a reflective pause and figure out exactly how we want to reach our destiny. Now, the thought that we have that we commit to reaching our destiny is a lot. And then if we speak of it, or we journal it, if we want to share with a like-minded individual, like-minded being, another sacred being of light, what our destiny is, and we feel comfortable and safe, and then that way we actually have someone we can converse with if we're ready to do that. But let's have trust with our own decision making. Let's trust that we know within our heart and our spirit everything that we're supposed to do. Now, when I say crack open the beautiful glowing light in your heart, what is that? What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the fact that when you were incarnated on this new earth Gaia, you had light and you had energy, and it was organic and it was beautiful. It was untainted. It was pure and innocent. And you knew your soul contract. You had a soul contract. You came onto this physical plane, this physical reality, this three-dimensional matrix, and now it's turning out of that, and you said, this is what I want to do. That's why little kids are so honest and truthful, is because they know. And then what happens? They're crushed, and they're said, no, that's silly, that's ridiculous. And then they don't do their dreams and their destiny. Now, maybe they were nurtured. Maybe you were lucky enough to be a nurtured little baby. And so your parents and your loved ones said, oh, yes, whatever you want. That's wonderful. I love that. That's fantastic. And that's beautiful. God bless. However, if you weren't, then you've taken a bit of time to figure it out and gone inside and said, you know what? I'm going to set my boundaries really strong now. They're 12 inches. Things aren't going so well for me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start to listen to me. So that's why I say, what is best for, and I say, what is best for Mary? You say, what is best for whoever you are. Allow yourself that. Trust yourself. So we're going to have a new understanding, and we're going to develop a plan, because we are going to get to the prize. We are going to be that dark horse, the least likely candidate to win the race. You are going to succeed. So dark forces. What exactly are dark forces? And anyone who's joining me, please share with me what you think, whatever's going on. Boy, I can't even write. I wrote any glitch wish, please. Wall. All right. Well, you know what I'm talking about. If there's any glitches, there's Elsa. Elsa, you're not a glitch. Any glitches, please share in the chat so that I know that it's not going well on the other side. I need to know. So dark forces. Why am I bringing up dark forces? Because I can't even look, and it's like I get uncomfortable looking at social media. Darth Vader, the dark side of the Force. Exactly. Darth Vader. He's the villain. And it's funny. I was thinking about fairy tales the other day. And I was considering that in all the fairy tales, there was always a villain. Now, who created that scenario? Who decided when we came onto this new Earth Gaia? Who was this who decided that every single story has to have a villain? Why is there evil? Why does there have to? Today, video works perfectly. No glitches. Thank you for sharing, Amano. Do you know how relieved I am? I feel terrible when that happens because I don't know. And so all of these fairy tales and all of these stories, all these films taught us that there's always a villain. And the villain is usually stealing, committing crimes, taking children, harming, or they are stealing true love or beauty. And what is that teaching us? That's programming that we've had. And we've been influenced by it. So we believe there always has to be darkness looming over us. Ooh, it's going to get us. It's going to scare us. And we put us into fear. And that's how you create fear. Fear is like a killer. It's like it destroys you. It's like stress. It stresses your body. You lose your hair. It gives you heart problems. You become addicted to something. Why? Why is it necessary to bring fear into everyone's life? Why are they trying to do this? So dark forces are evil influences. They're organizations. They have a destructive, forceful takeover energy. They're sinister. They're black energy. They're grim. They're black masses. They're satanic. It's Satan. It's the devil. It's the forces of darkness expanding and contracting. And so in the old days, women were the villains in the very old stories. Eve for grabbing the apple and so on. Yes, and it's not really a matter of if it's in a lot of the fairy tales, it's the woman actually. It's the evil stepmother. It's the evil witch. So it continued in some of those fairy tale movies, cartoons that we would watch, right? The Snow White, the Cinderella. They are always evil. That's interesting that you're bringing that up. Thanks for sharing that, Thomas. I agree with you. And so I kind of thought to myself, well, how is there evil right now on this earth? This earth really is evil, dark forces that are trying to mask themselves as helpful, or they're masking themselves as concern, or you know what? If you listen to us, the leaders, if you listen to us, then we will protect you. But guess what? No one's saving you but you. We have to save ourselves. Don't wait for someone to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to look at what is good for you. And so I thought to myself, what reminds me of a dark force or an evil thing? Well, I thought about the Venus flytrap. And what does the Venus flytrap do? It comes in, right? It sets its prey. It's open, right? It's this open. It opens and closes, but it opens up this Venus flytrap, and it waits for. It's a predatory plant. It waits for something to touch its skin, touch its an insect or spider crawls onto it. Now, they live up to 20 years in the wild. And so it comes up on their leaves, right? And then it snaps shut. And then it waits 5 more minutes before, or 5 more, is it 5 more minutes or 5 more seconds to ensure that it has caught a live bug worthy of digestion and consumption. And so why am I bringing this up? Because I feel like, are we, the prey, coming into the Venus flytrap, and are we getting digested? Or is our energy being harvested? Or is evil trapping humans to own them, to possess, to enslave? So the Venus flytrap is opening and closing, and that's what's going on with dark forces. So these devices that are being built and designed to catch and retain us, they hold on to us. And how do they hold on to us? Will they surprise attack us? Maybe it's based on fear, anxiety, worry, finances, rules, laws. have tos. You're obliged to do something. And so, is this a necessity for us? Should we consider that maybe we don't want to be caught in the Venus flytrap anymore? And maybe you should expand your awareness, realize there's another reality. Join the pack of rebels, not the rebels that create havoc out there, the rebels that believe that there's another reality. So, do you want to be caught and consumed by the Venus flytrap? It will catch you, and then it will digest you. So this repetitive evil is learning to desensitize us. It's learning to teach us. This is why I stopped viewing the news for many years, and it all news. Yes. Well, you know what, though? So the television was designed for entertainment. And so it's like theater, it's like films, it's like television programs, it's like the news. And so what do we have? They all have some things in common. They all have a set, they all have scripts, they all have characters, and they all have advertisers. When you go to theater, you pay for tickets. When you go to movies, you pay for tickets. It's a show, it's entertainment. So everything else on the television is entertainment as well. So the news and television shows, they have an audience, like all of this performing arts. They have characters, anchors, leads, and they have a script. And then you pay the advertiser. They have advertisements, they have commercials. Have you ever seen a commercial? Guess what that is? That's paying for the television show. So it's really entertainment. So if you're watching television, you have to know, what are you getting out of it? Are you getting out, is it for fun? Because if it's not for fun, don't bother. That's it. You have to come to grips with that. That's some of the programming. Hello, programming. Okay, so have you been working on your clairsenses? I'm going to get into that. And before I do, I want to mention what's called first contact. Does anyone know what first contact is? What's first contact? What am I talking about exactly? Can you see how I leapt right out of dark forces? Because I really don't want to talk about dark forces. I'm all about living in the light. I only want to cover dark forces for 1 minute and 1 second. Is that to do with aliens? Yes, it does. So first contact is initial encounter. And, have we had, it's the encounter between extraterrestrial aliens and humans, human beings. The first meeting of the species on Earth, beyond the Earth. Okay, has there been intelligent life, aliens that have come from someplace outside of Earth, that has come here and traveled and visited us? And have we seen and spoken to aliens yet? Has that happened yet? Let me find a little picture of a little alien. Have we seen any aliens as of yet? Have we seen any guys like this? Has anyone seen any aliens? Have we had first contact? Is there evidence? They come from someplace outside the Earth and in a distant planet, another galaxy. Is there any evidence to show truth to the first contact? Well, that would mean, is there confirmation? Has there been UFO sightings? Has there been encounters? Has there been witnesses? Now, history is built on all of this projected, projected programming that they are dangerous. They are dangerous. They are a threat to us. I have viewed many of videos from Dr. Stephen Greer and the first contact information. Yes, I have too as well. Thanks for sharing that. So alien invasion theories have been created already. They've been programmed into our minds, whether you realize or not, because there's been so many films or TV shows. Again, that's entertainment. Television is entertainment. Sci-fi is entertainment. Now, is that real? Have we had first contact, with aliens on this planet Earth, New Earth Gaia. Well, if we want to go back, we can talk about these guys, the Greys, that allegedly crashed at Roswell, in Roswell, New Mexico, and in 1947, and there was 3 dead bodies and 1 live, and they took it to Air Force Base, Patterson Air Force Base, something Patterson Air Force Base. Aliens wanted to destroy us, we will be dead. Exactly. So aliens are very, very high technology, highly advanced. So these guys allegedly they had alien abductions, and they took people and they took them on their ships, and they you know experimented on them, that kind of thing. But however, so what has happened? Well, since 1947, if you want to look back at 1947, and then you want to look at a lot of technology that came after 1947, which was Bell Labs in New Jersey, all of a sudden they discovered and invented the transistor, which then became the basis for a lot of other fundamental inventions. And so how did that happen? Well, alien reverse technology. And then there was Lockheed. And so what ended up happening, we're going to move forward to present day. So what happened? Well, the government had secret systems, and they created things like this Tic Tac. Now, for a while, they were saying, oh, those are alien ships. Read the book Community. But yes, and also Colonel Corso. And I saw an interview by Colonel Corso's son, which was really eye-opening, and that was on International Spiritual News Network, which is the one that interviewed me, Kevin Moore. If you look back, go scroll back, scroll, you will see this interview with Colonel Corso's son. And so the son talks all about Area 51 and what really happened and technology. And so our governments have black projects, and they are able to, we are able to have these what should I call them? Vehicles, these unidentified flying objects. We have some of our own. Now, are we capable in doing what alien technology? Absolutely not, because we don't have that. We don't have that advanced technology. It's all stolen. We had to, it was stolen from these guys. It was stolen from the aliens. So have we had first contact? Of course we have. Yes, we have. Now, we've had first contact with aliens. And since then, what's going on now is, because there's been this oversized battle, this horrible, I guess you could say, hell on earth, the opposite of heaven on earth, that's been going on for decades, for years and years and years, 100 years maybe or more. We are now being aided by benevolent extraterrestrials. Now, I don't know if you're aware of that. There are benevolent extraterrestrials, and they're called starseeds, okay? And they're coming to aid us. Now, they are motherships, and they are Palladians, Arcturians, Andromedans, and they are looking for peace on Earth. And so what's happening is, with divine energies, God has sent angels and ascended masters. We are awakening, like I say, we are awakening the masses. So every time some of us bring light, like that's why creating balls of light is helpful, bringing light, thinking light, because thoughts are so powerful, their vibrations. So imagine if everyone had a thought of light all at the same time. What would happen? Well, evil would leave. Like I said, evil's in the dumpster, right? The matrix is in the dumpster. All of the draconians and reptilians, their power social memory complex that has been trying to harvest our energy, will be in the dumpster. Now, is that happening already? Yes, it is. And why do I know that? Because I can see that evil is hanging out on the window like the cat hanging out the window, and it's saying, I'm going to win. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. But they're on the last breath. They're on the last breath. So what's going on is what I said the other day, doubling down. Do you feel like there's a doubling down? So it's more crazy stuff, crazy videos. People are doing crazy stuff, satanic symbols everywhere. They're saying, you will eat bugs and you will, let's see, what else are they saying? You will eat bugs and we will depopulate and you will be happy with nothing. Well, I'm so sorry, but we are not going to eat bugs, and we are not going to have nothing. We are going to have heaven on earth, and you're in the dumpster. You're out of here. So I pulled up this, which is, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how this comes up, but this is all about these star seeds. So star seeds have lived in previous lifetimes in one star system. Maybe you're a star seed, and that's why I'm bringing this up. And you're reincarnated into this star system. And you have innate skills, you're spiritual, you have sensitivity, you're evolved. And so are you a star seed? You know, these are some extraterrestrial races. Some of these good, some of these bad. Like Anunnaki, allegedly bad. You know, reptilian. I don't know if there's any reptilian there, but so are you any of these star seeds? Like a Palladian is empathic, feels and takes on others' energies, can transmit when they are in alignment, and many struggle with food sensitivity, sensory issues, and anxiety when not in alignment. Well, heck, that's me. I'm Palladian. So do you know what star seed you are? Are you a star seed? Because if you're awakened right now, you're an evolved soul and you have dormant wisdom that's just coming online. And that's why it's imperative that we do this mind-to-mind telepathy. Now, have you been working on your skill set? We are leaving the conformity, because if you're conforming, right, you behave in accordance with prevailing standards and customs, and you're typically dislike or avoid unconventional behaviors. So if you're conforming, you're not a rebel like us. But we can crack open that beautiful glowing light in your heart, and you can come to our side, and leave the matrix and become one of us, which is those beings of light, sacred beings of light, okay, that believe in compassion and love, unconditional love, and forgiveness, and hope, and kindness. And let's focus in on our intuitive abilities. So has anyone been working on that? Now, it's funny because I've been sharing that I've been considered myself a clairvoyant. I'm clairempathic. I have claircognizance, and I'm able to read people, read their energies, understand their personality, see major events in their life. I'm not good with names. I have an ability to see those who have passed. They come into my space right before I go to sleep. But lately, I'm getting the clairaudience. Are you getting the clairaudience, which is where you can hear from an outside source? Now we know, we've said this enough, that when you have clair abilities, clair senses that are online, it's a knowing from another source, an outside source. There's not going to be any proof or evidence for a while. You're going to have to trust yourself. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So every time that I come on, I'm trying to really bring this forward. Yes, I would like to speak of these subjects, and I think it's very important to bring awareness. Is everything positively? Yes, 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 yes. I know, no, no, no. I'm bringing awareness. I'm trying to come from a neutral perspective. You know when I really know something because I say or I speak about my experiences. So right now, when I speak of clear senses, I speak of my experiences. This is what I know. You know, just like if maybe you're really good at numbers or you're an accountant, you know that. Well, I know this because why? because I've kind of had these gifts since I was born, because like I had those near-death experiences. And also I just always had like this love and this glow about looking at the bright side. Hi, Alexandra. Thanks for joining us. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, psychic phenomenon. Psychic phenomenon. Is that sci-fi? Is that real? Well, it's your 5 senses plus your 6th sense. What exactly is your 6th sense? What have you mastered so far? Have you tuned in? Like I say, every morning, it takes a second. Say, how am I feeling? Because let's say you wake up and you go, oh, I feel terrible. I'm going to fight that. I think it's a much easier road if you say, okay, I accept I'm not feeling good today, right now. I'm going to do all of my tasks to the best of my ability. I'm going to have a good intention, but I'm acknowledging I don't feel great. So that means maybe I'll be in a bad mood. Maybe I'll be a little short. I was very short yesterday. I didn't want to speak to anyone. I didn't feel well. And so I acknowledged that. When I finally acknowledged that, everything was a little bit easier. So let's acknowledge how we're feeling. So our psychic phenomenon, our clear senses, let's start to understand and know about premonitions and events. There are indications, there are signs, there are messages that you will receive. Now, the more that you tune into your senses, which means like yesterday, what did we do? Or not yesterday, the day before. What did we do? We together did this activity where we closed our eyes and we listened beyond the walls. And then I said, to another realm. But when you're doing that, I want you to tune in and concentrate and focus. What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you tasting? What are you feeling? Now, this is no critical reasoning. We're not taking our thinking into this. This is our senses. We're tuning into our senses. We are going to telepathy school right now. This is telepathy school, living in the light. That's what we're doing. We're learning about ourselves. And so how do you know that this is not your thought? It's coming from another source. This is imperative that you know this, because as the dark energies that are hanging on the windowsill, that are just hanging on for dear life because they've lost the battle, they are already defeated. The 5-dimensional timeline has won. That's what we're headed towards. So everything in the matrix is going to be left. It's going to be, the structures are collapsing. So it's imperative that you know about your own self, about your own emotions, your own feelings, your own senses. Because dark forces will try to enter your mind and tell you something different. They're very good at that. They're highly advanced. They're more advanced than we are because we have not been working on these skills. So let's remind ourselves to tune inward. Okay, so you can approximate events that are going to occur because it's inevitable. The future exists and it will define itself. So there will be vibrations and messages and impressions that will come to you prior. Emotion, energy in motion. Yes. Thanks, Thomas Grant. And so you will receive this information. Now, maybe you'll have an inclination to look at something. So out of the blue, you just say, let me pick up this book here. There's something in it that I'm supposed to know. And so you come to a date and you say, I wonder why I'm thinking about that date. Because there's something that's going to occur on that date. There's something that you have to pay attention to. Now, I had this happen to me 2 days ago, and I looked at something and I read through it, and it didn't even trigger any kind of prediction for me. I just said, nope, just ignore that. And I was supposed to pay attention to it. Now, it was something that actually had some kind of looming negative events after, But I learned, like, listen, listen, listen. So I'm sharing this with you so that you begin to listen more and more to whatever comes into your system. Now, if you receive a vibration, an impression, which is, what are impressions? For those of you who haven't been here, an impression is going to come through as a sign, a symbol. So it's just going to enter you. There's going to be no uh, there's going to be no way of telling how it got there, but it's going to come within your system, and you're going to hear this information or see this information and know this information. So pay attention. You're supposed to receive it. Nothing is by chance. So there's what's called cause and effect relationships, which is between two things when one thing makes something else happen. So it's a prevision. So think of this as a prevision. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's Mary and I'm living in the light. We're covering subjects like pause, dark forces, first contact, and now we're speaking of psychic phenomenon. Psychic phenomenon, which are your clair senses, telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, all of these things, right? So a prevision is going to be a forewarning. So take note. It's a hunch, it's a warning, it's not a coincidence. It's, I guess, if I want to say synchronicity. So synchronicity is going to be when events that have nothing to do with each other come into the same place, and you have to take notice. You have to pay attention. It's a validation you're on your path. So you're going to have a feeling, an impression, awareness. There's going to be a sensation. So causations of the moment, one variable will influence another. Now, sometimes variables will cancel events, okay? Now, you can have a prediction, a sense, a knowing from an outside source. It's possible. Be aware of this. You have these abilities. You are capable of so much more. You don't even realize. Now, we speak of just mildly your 3 characteristics that make you your authentic self. And you know what, one of the reasons why I even acknowledge that constantly, I say that all the time, is because I want you to really, really believe in yourself more. You know, sometimes we are going through times in our life, moments in our life, that we are feeling less confident. You must have a willingness to believe in yourself, a willingness for self-confidence. So can you predict the future? Absolutely. You can predict the future. You can predict the future because the more that you believe in yourself, have self-confidence about your abilities, you know, maybe one of your 3 characteristics that make you your authentic self is that you're empathic, or one is that you are already tuning into your clear senses and you're aware. You know, it's like when you have a hunch. What's a hunch? You have this hunch that, is someone about to call me? Or you think of someone and then they call you or they text you. That happened to me twice today. So is that happening to you? So if that's happening to you, you're more and more aware, more and more clear. Now to become, hey T, thanks for joining us. I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Today we spoke of pauses because yesterday I took a little mini break. And so I had a reflective pause and I considered what's going on with me, and I didn't feel so great, and I allowed myself to heal and repair. And then I'm back joining this physical reality, New Earth Gaia that we're incarnated on. And then I spoke about dark forces and how there are these dark forces and these organizations that are on a path to destructive behavior, and they're really trying to catch us. Like I spoke about the Venus fly trap that has its prey come onto it, okay? And then the plant snaps shut. And then it only begins its digestion after 4 more stimuli to ensure that it's caught a live bug that's worthy of consumption. So is evil treating us like a Venus flytrap treats its victims? So evil energies trap humans. This matrix illusion traps us and it controls us at all costs. And there are systems that are built and designed to trap us and keep us firmly in their power and not allowing us to have free thinking, right? So let's expand our awareness and our mindset and allow ourselves to have our own thoughts. And so I've moved on to, I spoke about first contact, and was there first contact already? Has there been extraterrestrials that have made first contact? And when will this disclosure come? I didn't really touch on that, but I will right now. I'll say, when will the first disclosure come for the masses? Well, right now there's 10% of the population, the 8 billion that have become awakened. And how have they become awakened? They've become awakened because maybe they look at something that is in the news. I say, don't watch the news, and they say, that's not really right. That's not what's going on in my community, or I don't deem that to be accurate. Or maybe they had a Kundalini awakening and they spiritually woke up, or maybe a mystical experience. Maybe something touched your heart, like a beautiful sunrise, or maybe your best friend nudged you and said, hey, do you see what's going on? And then you woke up. Well, only 10% of the population is awakened. So if these guys had first contact and disclosure, what would happen? Well, first contact came in 1947 when there was an alien crash, at least 1947, at Roswell, New Mexico. And these gray aliens came here and landed or crashed at Roswell and were taken to Patterson Air Force Base. And so I spoke about that, T. So I'm kind of trying to get you up to date. And so psychic phenomenon. So can we predict and have a sense of knowing for the future? Yes, we can. And we are able to receive impressions. So let's work on that for a bit right now, won't we? Because the more that we work on our clear senses, even for a few seconds, a few minutes, the more we feel more comfortable with it. And we say, you know what? That isn't a conspiracy theory. That isn't sci-fi. I really have these abilities. We have to catch up. Now, there are going to be, as I say, those late timeline arrivals. And if you've come here today, welcome. Thanks for joining us, because we are awakened. And so what does that mean? We are letting go. We have had this sack of thought attachments and these belief systems that we've been dragging along everywhere we go. You know, it's like this. It's like we have this tube that's attached to us, and we're the host. And it's attached to us, and we're breathing life into it every single second that we're repeating all of these beliefs. Now, what are these beliefs? These beliefs are the government, the medical, the education. They are these beliefs that this is the only reality, this physical reality, that it can't be changed. Of course it can be changed. It can be altered by thoughts. You know, if we have unity within our thoughts, we have collective consciousness, the more like minds. That's why I say 10% have minds like us right now. 10%. So we have another 90% before there is full disclosure, maybe before there's the solar flash. However, I'm going to say right now, first contact and the solar flash are not going to save us. Okay? Because they come after we've all awakened. We have to save ourselves. We have to believe that we're worthy. We have to believe that we don't have to conform. We don't have to have like all this, what we wear the same, how we live the same, what we do is the same. That's in this sack that we're dragging along. I'm just dragging this sack along. We're going to cut that off. That tube's getting cut off, and I'm leaving it. I'm dumping it on the side of the road because it's not helping me. How am I going to reach that destiny? How am I going to keep my eye on the prize if I have to have all of this stuff, which this stuff is like fear-based programming? You have to do this stuff or no one's going to like you. It's about criticism. It's like, you're not good enough. You're not good enough if you don't look this way, if you don't wear these clothes, if you don't have this job, if you don't have all this stuff. That's not what makes you worthy. Your heart makes you worthy. It's how much love you have in your heart that makes you worthy, not how much stuff you have. Who cares about that? Now, I'm not saying we don't have needs, like we need to breathe, we need the sun, we need food, we need shelter, we need clothing, and we need love. I want big things. I want my 5 humongous goals. I want my trip to the Caribbean. I want my yellow shiny car. I'm not saying that some of that stuff isn't fabulous, but that's not all that life is, okay? To become evolved, you must realize that it's not all about me. It's about everyone else too. And the more that we love each other and accept each other, the more that we find that heaven on earth, that peace on earth, and we get to our destiny. So we're going to cut off that thought attachments. All those thought attachments are left. And now what are we going to do? If you want to tune into yourself, what are you going to do? Come on, everybody, tell me. You've been watching. What are we going to do next? Okay, I'll walk you through it. We're going to let go of all beliefs and thoughts before this moment. It's not important. The only thing that's important is right now. The past is already gone. The future isn't here yet. So what's left? Right now. So this is how you bring your destiny forward. And this is how you also bring confidence and belief in your opinions and thoughts and ideas. Your thoughts are worthy. Maybe you want to be a great novelist. Maybe you want to climb the highest mountain. Maybe that's your destiny. But you're not going to reach that destiny by conforming. You're not going to reach that destiny by asking everyone what they think. You have to trust yourself. Okay, so let's have trust right now. So we're going to let out a breath, because then we're really relaxing, right? We're going to relax because we're going to have stillness and peace. And we make better decisions, and we handle our challenges in a much more confident way when we just have peace within us. So we're going to have peace within us right now. We're going to have patience. We're going to say, I am strong, I am powerful, I'm courageous. Right? Because you are. You can add as many mantras as you want. You can have as many affirmations as you want. You choose them. Positive words around whatever you're doing. Light around whatever you're doing. Imagine light. Okay, so and now we're going to close our eyes. We're going to let go. And now we're going to tune into every one of our senses. We're going to make contact with every one of our senses. So what is that? Concentration. You're tuning in. So you're going to tune into your hearing. We're going to do this right now. Each one of our senses. Tune into your hearing. What are you hearing? Give it a couple of seconds. Listen. Because you're beginning to really magnify your 5 senses. Okay? You tune into your... Now, your taste. What are you tasting? Have strong taste, right? What are you smelling? Now I want you to tune into your heart and say, what are you feeling? What are you feeling in your heart right now? Say it out loud if you need to. What are you tuning in when you tune into your heart? What are you feeling? I'm feeling like calmness. I'm feeling content. I'm feeling very much like acceptable. And then you're going to tune in now beyond the walls of your room. You're going to ask yourself to go beyond this realm. So tune in beyond this realm. What does that mean? Well, maybe that means to you something entirely different than me. Everything is personal. So I say when I do this, I'm going to tune in beyond this realm, beyond this galaxy, as far as I myself can take me. Now that takes a bit of concentration. So you're going to tune in beyond the walls of the room, beyond this physical existence as far as you can. Now this takes a lot of focus and concentration because you're really relaxed. You can do this. This is how you're opening up your senses, your sixth sense. Now, are you seeing planets? Are you seeing another location? Write in the chat if you're what you're receiving, what information you're receiving, if you're receiving any information. Now, if you receive anything dark that feels like it's painful to you, like if you all of a sudden get a headache, tell it to go away. Say, leave my head. If you get a pain in your body, leave. Because that could be that you're opening yourself up to other channels. When you open yourself up to other channels, like a medium, you know what a medium is? A medium can tune in. Like, remember the old time seances where they would sit and they'd hold hands and she'd say, oh, I'm contacting Dr. or Mr. Or Dr. Jacob or your Uncle Pat or somebody. That's what a seance was. And so a seance was, they would go into a trance. It was like channeling, like we speak of channeling. And so they're channeling an outside source. You know, the ones with the crystal ball, that's what they did. Now, maybe you're a channeler. Maybe you can reach to another location and you can hear information and bring it back. What I'm doing now when I receive, which is called clairsustenance, when I hear from an outside source some kind of information that talks to me. I used to shut it down because I don't want to be a medium, but now I'm opening it up and I'm saying, oh, okay, what are you referring to? Or I have a conversation. I just listen to the information. So maybe you're a channeler. Now, when you do this, write it down. Just as valuable as your sleeping dreams are, whatever you're doing while you're awake is just as valuable. All right, so you get my idea, right? You get your awareness to any sensations that you're receiving. It's very important. It's crucial when you're working on your clairsenses, your psychic phenomenon. Okay, so we must clear our mind of any doubt. That's why I say take away any kind of thought attachments, any beliefs, and we're going to tune in and have present consciousness. So when we say right now, we're trying to bring our destiny forward, we're thinking of it right now. Maybe you want to do that right now. Maybe you want to bring your destiny forward and think of it like right here. If it was right here, what would your destiny be? Is your destiny like sitting on a beautiful beach in the Caribbean? Maybe you live there, wherever that is in the Caribbean. Maybe it's that you see that you've written this beautiful book, whatever it is. Whatever it makes it more real to you. Now, I don't know if you remember that I've shared manifesting, and manifesting, maybe we should go over that quickly. I don't know if you're interested. I'm just going to do it quickly just for you because I just thought of it. So maybe I'm supposed to say it. That's how it kind of goes, right? All right. So, and then I'm going to do a visualization. So manifesting, there's 3 steps to manifesting. So let's say you say Caribbean vacation. I want to manifest a Caribbean vacation. You must be clear, obviously, which is you don't tell anyone. You just keep it to yourself because someone else might say, come on, Mary, can you really take a Caribbean vacation? Are you sure you're going to be able to do that? And guess what's going to happen when someone says that to me? Their thoughts and their words are going to take me down. And I'm going to say, yeah, maybe you're right. I can't take that Caribbean vacation. And so you're going to doubt yourself. So we want to release any doubt. And so if we have no doubt, we commit to our destiny. We're not going to share it with anyone. We're going to write it down on a piece of paper. Just get a pen and paper and write it down. Be like, oh, my destiny is, I want a Caribbean vacation. We're going to fold it up. We're going to put it in our sock drawer. That's the first thing. And tell no one. I'm telling you right now, it's the biggest mistake you'll make. And for 2 weeks, your destiny is not possible. You're not going to be able to manifest it. Next step 2 is you're going to close your eyes and you're going to think of your destiny, which is, if I'm saying my Caribbean vacation, I'm closing my eyes and I'm imagining my Caribbean vacation. And when I imagine my Caribbean vacation, I'm there. I'm literally there. I'm on the sand. I see the palm trees. I see the beach, the water, and I'm imagining it with every sense. So I can smell it. I can smell the fresh air. I can hear the birds flying. I can hear the water. I imagine my feet in the sand. I'm touching. I'm touching the palm tree. I'm imagining all this. And all of this is bringing me joy. It's bringing me joy. Now, if you can't find joy, if you say, and you can't get to feel all these feelings, that means you're blocking your destiny, your Caribbean vacation. You're not going to be able to manifest it. So you have to say, why don't I want this trip? Am I sabotaging myself? Did someone say, ha ha ha, you can't have it? Or was I told by someone? Was I don't think I'm worthy? Whatever it is, you have to figure it out. Why aren't you allowing yourself to have this Caribbean vacation? Step 3, you're going to talk about it like you're there already. So I'm going to say, I'm standing here on the sand and I'm on the beach and the temperature of the water is it's just lovely because the sun is hitting the water and I'm going swimming and it's the best time I've ever had. And, I can see these villas on stilts. And I just had those wonderful a gourmet meal. And so I'm talking about it as if I already had it. So those are the 3 steps. And I mean it. Now, I know you've heard this. We've heard in the past, like, manifesting is impossible. It's impossible if you're not clear. It's impossible if it doesn't bring you joy. Because what's going to happen? The universe is going to bring you whatever you ask for. So if you ask for your destiny, it will come to you. And there will be signs and symbols and messages to guide you to it. Now, maybe it's going to happen while you're sleeping. Maybe it's going to happen from someone's just going to walk into your life and out of the blue, a stranger's going to give you information about reaching it. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So let's together remember that we are able to read other people. If you trust yourself, you will receive an impression. Like I say, it's much easier to do it with a stranger than someone you know, because someone you know, you will have the problem of thinking too much about who they are. So you want to just tune into all your senses. You want to activate your third eye. You want to activate your mind's eye, and that's why we do visualizations. So let's go through them. There's clairvoyance, there's clairaudience, there's clairsentience, there's clairalliance, there's clairgustance, there's cognizant and clairsentience. So there's a lot of clear senses out there, and I know that you have at least one that you can master. You probably have another one. I am mastering more clairsentience now, hearing, because I'm being more open to it. So the more open you are to something, the more awareness that will come and more sensations you will receive, more impressions. Now, we spoke about the sender and the receiver. We spoke about it's really reliant on the receiver. So if you have a friend and you say, hey, I want to see how good I am at telepathy. I'm practicing my telepathy skills. That's not sci-fi. That's not conspiracy. That's a real thing. I want to practice my telepathy. And so your friend says, all right, sounds like a plan. Let's do it. So I say, all right, it's Thursday night. I would like us to synchronize our watches for tonight at 8 p.m. You're in another location. Your friend's in another. Well, you're in one location. Your friend's in another. And your friend is going to send you information. They're the sender. And you're going to really concentrate. Now, what time? 8 p.m. Thursday night. So you're going to say, tonight's Thursday night, so we'll say it's tonight. They're going to have a picture in front of them of you. They're going to know your name. Obviously, they're your friend. They will know your name. And they are going to send you information. And the information is going to be whatever they want. They're not going to tell you. They're not telling you the information. That's why it's just going to be based on your impression. So they're going to tell you, maybe they're going to say out loud a story that happened to them. Maybe they'll describe their day. Now, why are you going to receive this? Because it's a charged impulse. There's feelings and emotions attached to their words and their thoughts. So it will come to you. So it's 8 p.m. tonight. So at 8 p.m. tonight, you're going to focus. You're going to concentrate on them, what they look like, and receiving the information. And you're going to write down whatever impressions you receive. Now, maybe you're going to receive something so random like a bird. Maybe it's going to be that you're going to see a child and a mom. It's going to be, we don't know, because the sender is going to be relaying this, transferring mind to mind this information at this moment. Now, the more you do this, the better you get at it. And then what ends up happening is, if you don't even have a synchronized time, you will start to receive all this information from the sender without even trying. After a reading, sometimes that's what happens to me. That's why it's like nothing ever shuts down. And that's why I have this trust with my clients, because we've connected on another level, telepathically probably. So it's really imperative to the receiver. They're really the answer to it, whether or not that it works for them. And then you can swap it back and forth, and you can send the information and they can receive the information. Now, are you going to have any proof? Well, the proof will come if when you speak to your friend that they say, what did you receive? And it's all accurate. That's how it's going to be. Maybe you'll get some is accurate, some is not. So it's a process. It takes time. It's practice. You know, the more you do this, the more you become aware to sensations and impressions. So it's anything is possible. Anything is possible is what I say. So I'm going to move on to a ball of light quickly, and then we're going to do a visualization because we're out of time. So a ball of light. Anyone who's joining me, you know already what this is. So I'm rubbing my hands together. We're bringing light onto this earth, new earth Gaia. The more light we bring, we become light workers. And the more light that we bring on the earth, because it's energy, the faster the matrix will leave. Is that an incentive or what? It's an incentive for me to do the ball of light. Think light, think light. Oh, I did read that you can walk, you know, as you're taking a walk, and I've been doing this, it's funny, and then I read someone else said this. As you're taking a walk outside, you can visualize light and spread light across communities. So that's a possibility if you want, if and when you want to. So you rub your hands together, and you should feel some kind of vibration on the palms of your hand. And it's very strong for me today. And then if you want, you can cup your hands, or you can keep them like this if it doesn't work when you cup your hands. So we're creating this ball of light to work on and practice our intuitive abilities, so we have this sensation. And we start to understand what it's like to tune into another reality, another realm, energy, vibration. And so we can create this ball of light, we can expand it and compress it. And so as we bring this ball of light, we can bring it into this physical space that we are in. We can bring light into this physical space. It's a very positive thing to do. And it will help you to have more light around you. And the more light that we have around us, the more chance that we have of negativity leaving us, right? So we all have an energy field that's around us. And so when we bring light around us, we kind of squash anything negative or dark that's actually been around us. So take that into consideration. There's a lot of good that can be created with a ball of light. It also can help us to concentrate and focus. Now, maybe this doesn't resonate with you, and I completely understand that, but I'm going to keep doing that until someone says don't do this. I'm going to keep making balls of light. So I go into my third eye when I do this with the ball of light. And so what do I see in my third eye? So I see, I've been seeing a lot of waves lately. And, I don't know if that was a premonition for something, a lot of weather related. I saw light a lot, which is maybe the solar flash. There's no defining when that actually is any of these views in my third eye. So let's see, what do I see right now? I'm going to do something different right now. I'm going to tune into my ball of light. So let's tune into our ball of light. Let's imagine that we're inside of our ball of light. And what do I see inside the ball of light? Well, I see rainbow light. I see a world beyond the ball of light, another dimension, another realm. And I see a lot of nature beyond the ball of light. So what is everyone else seeing with their ball of light? Now, if you want to tune into your third eye, which is, tuning into your senses, how about we, instead of saying tuning into our third eye, we say tuning into our senses. So let's take our ball of light and let's tune into our hearing. What do we hear when we tune into our ball of light? Are we hearing anything in the ball of light? That might be something new we try. We try our different senses. Are we hearing anything in our ball of light? So I hear an echoing. I hear myself saying echo, echo, echo. Okay, so let's try something else. What does it taste like in the ball of light? I actually had I heard metal, but I don't know if that's what I really felt. I'm not really getting anything for taste for ball of light. Let's see what else. What do I feel inside the ball of light? What do I feel? I feel like I could go to sleep inside the ball of light. So anyone who's joining me, what are you sensing inside the ball of light? Okay, so I'm just actually really, really trying to help you practice more of your intuitive skill set. Okay, I'm going to put my hands together. So before I move on to the visualization, I want to remind you that if you are having trouble tuning in, that you can imagine, if you want to close your eyes and you're trying to tune in, imagine maybe a screen in front of you, a blank screen, and what do you see on the screen? Maybe that will help you. I know making contact with others at first, I say I go in through their heart. So somehow I tune into their heart and I can go in because I'm empathic, but I don't know how it works for you, but everyone's going to be entirely different. That's one thing that I learned when I began doing this, when I began doing psychic fairs and, psychic readings, is that everyone does this differently. So that's what makes us individuals, right? All right, so I'm going to do a visualization before we go. It's a quick visualization. Elsie, you've been so quiet this morning. We haven't heard a peep out of you. Okay, so a visualization is guided mental imagery in your mind's eye, bringing us hope, love, and prosperity. And it's a way of bringing light into your system and more of controlling your thoughts, and more of a way of imagining and understanding calm and peacefulness in your heart. I know through meditation, if you spend time quiet and you work on your breathing, because that's what meditation is. It's just focusing on your breathing and not listening to anything else and hearing anything else, and just concentrating on your breathing, because you're quieting your system down. We have a very fragile system. We have our thoughts, we have our words, we have our mental, we have our physical, we have our emotional, and we have our spiritual systems all within us. And so when stuff comes at us, right? We have stuff that comes at us. So maybe you have a bad time and something hurts you. Maybe someone hurts you and they say something or they do something, and you're sensitive to it. And so you feel pain in your heart. And how are you going to handle that pain? What are you going to do with that pain? You're going to leave it there? Well, you're going to want to accept it. You're going to want to love yourself, and you're going to want to have it join with all of you. And how are you going to do that? By having some peace. So when we do a visualization, we're actually trying to calm ourselves down, to quiet. Okay? So our intention today is to awaken our consciousness through a source of light. Let's realize connecting your mind, body, spirit to divine light will shed darkness in yourself and unblock your true purpose and passions. Your light source visualization begins now. So please find a quiet space, sit or lay down comfortably, like little Elsa's doing, and we're going to let go of any stress that we have. If we have to tense up and let go, and tense up and let go, whatever it is that you need to do, and we're going to let go of any thoughts before this moment. So we are going to do that from the top of our head to the tip of our toes, and we're just going to relax. For this very few seconds, we're just going to find relaxation, okay? And now we're going to inhale and exhale, because this is important, deeply 3 times, and I'll do this with you, okay? So let's do this together. Okay, so I hope that you're more relaxed. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to imagine you have nothing in your mind. You're just clear. You've let go of any thought attachments or anything before this moment. It's not serving you. And I'd like you to imagine that you're standing in a green meadow, a vibrant, beautiful green meadow. And you can feel the wind blowing, and you can see the grass moving with the wind. And you can feel it on your feet and your toes because you're barefoot. And you're surrounded by vibrant, beautiful, colorful flowers of red and purple and yellow. And so you see these flowers and you're bending down and you say, oh, this flowers look so beautiful. I'm going to pick one. And then you pause and you say, no, they're too beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. And you realize that there's beauty in this nature, and you want to leave it behind. You don't want to disturb it because it's part of you. We are all connected. And so now your attention draws you to an extraordinary beam of light in the distance. And you see this translucent light on the horizon, and it's not giving off any heat. And the light calls for you to walk closer and closer to it. And as you move closer, you're not sure how long it's going to take, but you know you must reach this light. And you are destined to reach it. And as you walk, you feel more free, and you feel more alive, and you're letting go of anything, any past nuances that are bothering you, any negativity, any anger, any fear, any pain, and you're letting it leave you. And you understand this presence of this light, and you know that you need it in your life to be more free and alive. So to this light, you are perfect and you are forgiven of all your flaws. And so you're going to breathe out anything that's bothering you. If you have to say any words, you're going to breathe out, and you're going to accept yourself, and you're going to trust yourself, and you're going to have a willingness for self-confidence and a knowing that you have all the answers within you. Your heart and your spirit know all. So you're going to stay in this moment of this light, this beautiful, beaming, glowing light. And you're going to keep it within you. And I'm going to count backwards, and you're going to open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. And so when we bring light within ourselves, we're actually allowing ourselves to have calm and peacefulness, and we're embracing ourselves. Now, the light, what is the light? I was asked in the beginning by Thomas Grant, and he said, how do I, a regular person, be in the light? And so I said, Thomas Grant, it's really not that complicated. I'm a regular person, and so how am I living in the light? Well, I'm looking at things from a more positive perspective. I'm spending time in nature. I'm asking light to come within my life, around me, within me. And so light really to me is goodness and kindness and compassion and a belief and a commitment to do my best. And light is love, unconditional love, and forgiveness. So if you want to be in the light, I suggest that it starts with tuning into yourself, like I say, asking how you're doing, accepting yourself for all of your stuff, all the naughty stuff that you ever did. You must accept. You must accept yourself. You can't push it away. You can't compress it. You can't let it block you anymore, because guess what? If you don't deal with your traumas, your triggers, your issues, they're going to keep haunting you and haunting you. And you're never going to unblock your truest potential. So let's accept all of us, even if it's really hard to look at. Can you say, I love myself, I accept myself if you look in a mirror? It's not more difficult than dealing with it. By getting through it is actually easier than running from it. So let's embrace all of ourselves, all of our fears, and let's live in the light. And so I'm circling, I'm putting light out there. And anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. It's Friday in the Matrix work week. So I'm spinning light, and you're in the middle of it right here. Hey, Hamano, hearts to you. And so and you're making a wish. You're in the center of this light, and you're making a wish. Good things are coming. Eye on the prize. Now, I know we're going to feel like we're those owls, and we're trying to see in the dark, and that's how it's going to be to begin with. You're like walking in the dark. You're trying to find your way, but you will find your way. Okay, so you're in the middle, and I'm spinning light, and you're making a wish, right? You're going to reach your destiny. Everyone have a wonderful day. I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye. Thanks, Thomas Grant.